Hello, I'm Alexis from BSC Designer. In this video, I will show you the progress we made with BSC Designer platform in terms of supporting AI for strategy implementation. And I want to start with the review of this scorecard that was created almost 100% with AI without manual intervention. So here we have some scorecard for perspectives, some objectives. For each objective, there is some supporting objective, supporting goal. Then we have some initiatives. And then we also have some metrics. And those metrics are filled in with plausible data. And we also have strategy map that visualizes the structure, those objectives. And we also have a dashboard. So that's the final scorecard that was created with AI. And now let's create it from scratch. And I will show you how it works in practice. So first of all, I will create a blank scorecard. I will call it simply balanced scorecard. And the description will be empty. And let's open it. So inside we don't have anything, strategy map, dashboards, everything is empty. And if you want to repeat my steps and if you want to try it in your account, what I recommend to do is to go to settings, strategy tab, and fill in these fields here in strategy statements section, especially this last one, the additional company context, because this is used by AI to basically answer all your queries and generate your strategy. So for better results, put some additional context here. Okay, and now let's create something with AI. Here you can see what data will be passed, and I start chart. So one of the recent improvement that we added to the platform is this menu that you can use to pick one of the predefined prompts. So instead of writing prompt here, I can just use this one, and I can tweak it a little bit according to my needs. So this scorecard support the, let's put it here, sustainable development strategy of group of companies, for example. And the rest, what we ask for, goals, KPIs. Let's also add here that there should be at least 2 levels of goals. We also ask for KPIs, initiatives, organize it according to perspectives, and define KPIs, define initiatives, all this. So now I will click send and allow AI to think a little bit. I will pause the recording and get back to you in a minute when AI responds me with an answer. Okay, so it was a quite complex prompt. So it took AI about 1 minute to generate the response. It starts with some explanation about what it done. And the most interesting part that it suggests me the objectives and metrics that I ask for. So I can add them manually by clicking add button, then reviewing this and clicking add button. Or I can simply go to execute all, and let's also switch to strategy map tab to see how it's actually working in real time, because our platform will add the suggested objectives one by one. So now I see the objectives were added and the initiatives are being added now. So the basic structure is now created. I can see on the KPIs tab the structure. Dashboard for now empty. So the next step is to ask AI to fill it with plausible data. And again, for this, I have this prompt template, which is basically asks AI to fill in with plausible data. data to be realistic, depending on what the indicator is, etc. So again, starting this query and pausing this video. Okay, this time it took the AI longer because more data was generated, I think about 2 minutes. And here I see some sample data sets generated for the metrics, as we asked for each period, for each update interval. By default, these indicators were configured as monthly update. So what I need to do, I just agree with this data by clicking this execute all button. And it also worth mentioning that this way we can also import data to the platform. This one of the ways how you can import it to the platform, especially if it's not structured. So let's finalize clicking execute all for all this data so that we have enough data to play with for the next step that I wanted to show. I think I need to, yeah, I think I have finished. Yeah, last one. So we have now our data. Oh, this one as well. We have now our data. I can go to KPIs tab. I see this progress column is now filled in with something. I can pick just one indicator, go to values editor, and I see this data here. I could also ask AI to fill in target, but I think that's enough. So we have this data here, and it's also displayed on the strategy map. See, it's now displayed next to the indicator. Actually need to enable date selector, so it's more obvious for what period it's displayed. It's for January 2026. And what we can do now is to ask AI to fill in dashboard with some nice charts. For this, we don't have a prompt yet, so I will copy and paste the prompt that I have prepared before, where we basically establish certain rules for adding charts. So what we ask for is to add this type of chart, key metric chart, to the top first, then add some chart, some time chart for two metrics where the values are actually changing actively. Then we ask for a bar chart that will include all the perspectives of the scorecard. Then we ask for a diagram that will include all the initiatives. And finally, we ask for a Gauss diagram, again, for each of 4 perspectives. Let's execute it, and I will pause the video and we'll see how long it will take. Okay, so in about 30 seconds, we have this output where, according to our request, AI suggests adding some charts to the dashboards. So now dashboard is empty. Let's click execute all, and this is slowly added to the dashboard. So that's what AI have created for us. Probably that's not the best layout. I need to tweak it. I see that here for this diagram, AI created this for a specific goal to feature the specific initiative of this goal. So probably I will change the data source, not for this goal, but for this perspective or even for whole scorecard. And I can also, instead of displaying here align KPI, I can display here the goal where this initiative belongs to. And if needed, I can just move this diagram a little bit to fit it better. And what else? Here we have how the finance customer internal was changing over time. That's fine. And here we have a diagram where we have actually 2 metrics, total scope and percentage of employees trained, displayed on one diagram. And finally, on the very top, we have this diagram that feature the certain aspects of this scorecard. Okay, that's everything is customizable. I already started customizing it according to my needs. So if needed, I can change the view, change the type of type of the chart, but right now it's not the point. So that's what was created by AI. This structure strategy map created automatically. This dashboard with some modification from my side. It was created by AI. And what else can we ask AI to do? So here in my strategy workspace, I have these scorecards I have played with. So these structures, like just a list of scorecards. But what we can do in a real case situation, we can cascade these scorecards. So if more business units are involved, we can ask AI to help us to cascade these scorecards. So using this prompt that we have in the end. We can also ask AI to review the metrics, review the goals inside our scorecard, like do a technical review to understand if everything is fine, like if there are objectives with metrics, if there are objectives that are not quantified, things like this. And another prompt will help us to analyze the data that we have for KPIs. So if you want to like find some trends, find some anomalies, you can do it visually, or you can ask AI to do it for you. So as you can see, AI is pretty good at doing its job. And the final work here is actually you can try all these under the free plan. Yeah, so the free plan has certain limits, which is 5 scorecards and 36 indicators in each scorecard. Yes, you probably need to adjust this prompt a little bit. But actually, this one is just 33 items inside the scorecard. So even under the free plan, I could do this. I could try creating strategy like this. So obviously, that's just a starting point that needs human oversight, that needs customization. But according to my impression, it's pretty impressive for something that was created in basically 10 minutes. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact our team. Thank you.